Hello everyone. Dr. Dimitrios Kostopoulos here, co-founder of Hands-On Diagnostics and Hands-On Companies. And the reason I'm creating this little video segment is because I want to share with you, either if you are a partner of HADS, an affiliate of any of the Hands-On companies, I want to share with you a little story. I, like you, in the physical therapy school, or even later on when I went to medical school, I learned how to deliver physical therapy or how to deliver clinical medicine, but I never really learned at school how to manage a physical therapy or a medical practice. And I never really learned at school how to manage my money or how to create those conditions in life to lead me to a financial affluence. So throughout my 30-something years, I started practicing in 1988. So it's been a very long time. So throughout all of these years, I have developed multiple businesses, generated tons of money. And for many, many years, myself and my business partners, we were making financial mistakes in the business and financial mistakes in our personal financial lives. And we didn't manage money from a pro-survival point of view for ourselves, our families, and others around us. Simply because we did not know. The knowledge was not there. So a few years ago, we were very, very lucky to be exposed to an organization called Econologics. And Eric Miller, who is with me in this presentation today, he is the CEO and co-founder of this organization. He's going to tell us more about it in a moment. But what I can testify on this is that the past few years that we have been involved in with Econologics, both my business partner and I, we have been able to create financial affluence to the degree that we had not developed it in the past 20-something years of our business and personal financial evolution. And it is not just, it does not only have to do with, oh, how much money somebody has in the bank or how much money somebody has invested in. It has to do also with the degree of certainty that we have, with the knowledge that we have on things will be just fine, no matter what happens out there in market conditions and this and that. So because I have a lot of passion in this area, and because Eric has tremendously helped us to achieve what we have achieved today in the financial front, that's why I wanted to get him for a few minutes to tell us a little bit about his concept and what him and his organization are creating for private practice owners. So, Eric, tell us a little bit about Econologics.
Well, I think it was pretty simple. It was there was a point in time when I was a financial advisor, and just like traditional advisors in the past, and I think everyone has had some experience with maybe like a local advisor, but the experience is generally just, hey, how much money do you have in a retirement account that I can manage, or maybe there's some insurance and other things that you may need. And there was a point in time where I was just like, that's great, those things are important, but that's not really changing, to your point, like the financial condition of someone. And it was really apparent that practice owners were very underserved when it came to financial advice. And the reason being is because if you're a practice owner, let's say you're just starting out or even like mid-career, you put so much money in your business. You put so much money into like, reinvesting profits and everything like that in your business that you don't have these huge portfolios that people can, that the top advisors would be able to look at you and say, okay, you're worth taking on. So, it was very apparent to me that practice owners needed to get better financial advice than what they were getting. And for me, I had to understand how to show them how to better utilize their practice cash flow for the benefit of their household, which many of them weren't doing. So it just kind of morphed into there where we really became experts in learning how a private practice worked, because it is the biggest investment. I think that's a main concept and part of our philosophy is that your practice is your biggest investment, but it is an investment of the household, which is the parent company, that the way that we look at it. So you have to make sure that there's systems set up that all this money, and I think you made the point, you guys have made a ton of money through your businesses, but if it's not managed and channeled correctly, it can get lost. So I think really making sure that you have systems set up so that cash flow of the business channels to the household. If you can just solve that one problem right there, the ability to get into a financial free condition doesn't need to take 30 years. It doesn't need to take 15 years. You can do it in 7 to 10.
Yeah.
Okay. And sometimes faster.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can vouch for that.
Yeah, there you go. So, that's really where our point of view comes from as far as like our philosophy. And, to your point, practice owners are inundated with so much financial information out there. I mean, you get it from so many different angles. But everyone is having a different experience. Everyone is in a different condition, and following cookie cutter financial advice, what may be appropriate for one person in one condition is just not going to be appropriate for another person in another condition. So I think that's the value that we've been able to bring is number one, making sure people have a plan. They're certain they have correct financial metrics that they're measuring. But really more importantly, just making sure that that you're making good decisions, and having someone that has seen every phase of the journey that you go through, from starting up to mid-career to deciding to expand your practice to finally exiting out. We've seen it all. So I know what that journey is going to go through.
And one of the things that I really appreciate about your approach is that you help people take responsibility for their own financial condition. Because in the past, what I have done is I would have engaged, let's say, with a financial advisor or an investment, portfolio investment person, and I would say, oh, okay, take it out there and you handle that. And it was like as if somebody else who knows very little about my own life and my own financial condition would make the decisions about my financial future. And that was totally wrong. It was like I was giving responsibility to somebody else.
Correct.
But here is the point. In order for someone to take responsibility for something, that person must have knowledge about something. You start with knowledge that helps you take responsibility so that you can control a segment in your life. Same thing here in finances. You have to have some financial knowledge to work together with the financial advisor so that you can take responsibility for your own finances and control them appropriately. So tell us a little bit about your training, to which I personally, I am addicted to. I'm not saying I just like it, I'm addicted to, because at least once a year I come and take and retake your program. So tell us a little bit about the program.
Yeah. So to your point, most practice owners never really learned about finances. You didn't learn it in college. If you learned it, it was usually the school of hard knocks, or maybe from a parent or someone else. But even then, it wasn't your experience as a practice owner. So what we did is we tried to we wanted to create a training um, system or course that we could do it live, where we could do it seminar style, so we could have interaction, but we could teach practice owners what they needed to know about finances, that would have the biggest impact on their lives, and really give them that knowledge of what they needed to know. It's not like, hey, what is a mutual fund, or what is a stock or a bond? It's not that, you know, remedial, or, it's not that uh, dull, so to speak. It really has to do with their household, how to better manage their household, how to make better financial decisions, and what are some of the basics, fundamentals, natural laws that you need to know, and then how do you increase the value of your business, and what areas to look out for. Because again, like, I think once a practice owner knows an area, and then what are some of the things that they should know, what's the ideal scene of that area, then they'll fix it, or they'll know what to do. But when you don't know, it just opens yourself up to get lied to by unscrupulous people. So we wanted to pack, and we had actually an attorney tell us this one time. They were like, wow, you have 2 years of educational material that we condensed down to 2.5 days. And to your point, it probably does take going 4 or 5 times to like really soak it all in. But I think you pick up something new every time,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
And
I love it. And you guys do this a couple of times a year, right?
yeah, so we generally do it in the springtime. Actually, we do it beginning of March, generally, and then we do it again in July, and we do it in November. And the
Okay.
dates will alter from based upon that particular year, but that's what we do. We do it in Clearwater, Florida, and we have a beautiful venue right over the water, where we have room for 50 people, and we generally have about anywhere between 30 and 50 practice owners come, and they stay for that 2.5 days, and really just they interact with each other. They hear each other's, because a lot of the practice owners have a lot of the same problems, and you hear success stories, what this person did, what that person did, and it really builds a group. But for the most part, you're there to get fed what knowledge you need, so that you can take responsibility for yourself. That's really the key of it right there. It is for you to take responsibility for yourself. I don't
And
want to, I don't want to be an advisor where I'm telling people what to do. Okay. Now, sometimes we have to do that. But to your point, I don't like when someone says to me, and maybe some advisors like this, hey, you just handle all this for me. I'm like, no, 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 no. I want you to know why money is going here, and why money is going here, and what your risks are, and what your expectations should be. So I think that's a really key point that you made.
awesome. And for people to get more information or even register for one of your upcoming summits, they can go to financial training for practice owners. And I'm going to just show you guys the website for that. And yes, this is the view you get from the venue that the program takes place. And it's pretty amazing program. Yes, make sure that when you register for the program, also mention that you are either a HUD's partner, or you are with hands-on companies, or us. You can use my name also, so you can get the value package and the VIP treatment
There you go.
from Econologics. So just any final piece of advice, people?
No, I think the idea of, you can go through your journey, and you can try to guess and piecemeal this and you know, you may be successful, or you can just spend 2.5 days and really come back with a strategy that you can implement. And that way it takes away from the distractions that are going around. I mean, look at all the distractions that are out there right now. Okay, geopolitical problems and financial problems and all these things are, you know, they take your attention away from really what you need to focus on. And I think that's where we give you a real strategy of what you need to focus on that you can control. And I think that really is the benefit of coming to the summit and learning the material.
Awesome. Eric, thank you very much. And my friends, I hope that you take advantage of the opportunity you have in front of you right now with Econologics to learn and then take responsibility for your financial future. So thank you, Eric.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.